Hey, everybody. Welcome to our episode 89. I was going to say 98 of Carmela's Wrestling Radio Relived. We have a recap show tonight, and I'm here with my buddy Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Carm. Hi,
And,
Johnny.
and we're here with Johnny Hotbody,
Yes.
Hello.
with
Hello,
who a
everyone.
recap would not work without.
No, no.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
And what
Thank-
a recap.
Oh,
AEW Wrestle Dream. Oh my God.
oh my God. Oh my God. I got to tell you before we even get started, all right? It was worth every penny. Jeannie and I split
Yes.
it. It was worth every penny. Okay. It was, oh my God, it was amazing. Um, First of all, I wanted to say rest in peace to the the WWE wrestler that was with Mabel, I believe, back in the day. He
Yes.
passed away. Okay, rest in peace for him. WWE, we know they're thinking about dropping the championship belt from Seth Rollins because apparently his rotator cuff is pretty bad. We talked about that. So they're going to have to do it because by the time he comes back, forget it. It's going to be too long. So they're doing that. Now, I do want to comment on Friday Night SmackDown. I don't know if you guys watched it. The very end, Cody came out and he tore, what's his name? Drew McIntyre apart. Okay. Literally tore him apart. And I thought that was pretty good. I like that. He got mad because Jacob Fatu was jumped in the back and apparently got his teeth knocked out. He was spitting teeth, unless they were fake teeth. But he was bleeding. Apparently somebody jumped him. You know, they're going through that whole thing where they don't know who jumped him, blah, blah, blah. But then Cody came out and he said, you really want the match? Do you want the match? We'll do it right now. So suit, vest, tie, the whole 9 yards. He went after him and he literally tore him up. So that was really good. I like that. So I wanted to make a point of bringing up a couple of things with WWE. Oh man, my back hurts. Don't ever get old. A couple things with WWE, and I still don't understand, why they're doing what they're doing. I really don't. I think they could really have a better product than they're doing right now, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know if Triple H is just taking a back seat. I don't know if he's not involved in the booking or if he's booking too much. Maybe he's doing too much of the booking. I don't know. I don't understand. Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead. I see you going already.
Here we go. First of all, we must be getting listened to because things that we and Shelby Dudley including have spoken about in the past, including AI helping them write because they don't know how to write. And then there's also us talking about AEW. Now they're saying AEW's too violent. They want to talk about, is it too
Did
violent?
you notice that? Yes.
It's like, they're afraid. They're definitely shitting in their pants. As far as Fatu goes, Fatu had to get is that his name? The one that jumps around? Jacob. As far as Jacob goes, he had to have his teeth done because it was a health issue. It had nothing to do with an angle. He really has to have surgery done or he could possibly die from what's going on in his mouth. Who knows? I remember his uncle eating raw fish and other things on the WWF promos back in the day for the Wild Samoans. But anyway, there was something else you were talking about, Seth Rollins. Well, his surgery's supposedly been done.
Right.
He tore his rotator cuff out and tore muscle off the rotator cuff. Or tore muscle off the shoulder bone.
Right.
That had to be worked on, and it's been worked on. Now, for rehab and recovery, he could be out for almost a year. As far as them take, or more than a year. as far as them taking a title off of him because he won't be able to defend it, in case anybody's been sleeping on the job, if you remember the roster that Brock Lesnar worked on when he was the champion, and also with Roman Reigns, they were part-timers. So really, they could write it into the script and have Seth Rollins on TV with the shoulder injury, and it wouldn't make a difference. They wouldn't be able to strip him from it, not unless they really, really want to put the belt on LA Knight, which would be a field experiment, such as Jacob and everyone else. The only one out of the whole crew that deserves the title is Drew McIntyre.
Right, I agree with
no
that.
other reason, but he's the only one that actually looks like a wrestler. The rest of them, they blow up. They can't wrestle. CM Punk's out of breath 5 minutes in the ring. They should be ashamed of themselves, embarrassed at best. And as far as the pay-per-view was, that may have been one of the best pay-per-view. It's like every time I see the AEW, I keep saying this is the best one. This is the best one. But the way it happened for my cable, it started off with FTR and Jet Speed, and Speedball is his name. Although it is a drug, I was correct last week when I was calling him Speedball because that's what they call. Let me get the names right. I wrote it down. It's Jet Speed, Mike Bailey, and Speedball, Kevin Knight or Knight. Yeah, Kevin Knight. But yeah, that's what makes them listen. They're a great tag team.
The tag team name though is whatever.
Yeah, Jet Speed. Yes. But it opened up for me with that. It went right into that. So I had missed the tailgate stuff. Didn't even know it was free on TNT. And from what I hear, I missed some of the first match. What they're saying. It was a great match. And as far as people listening to us,
hold on, wait a minute, Johnny. Johnny, hold on one second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I did have two more things I wanted to say because once we get into AEW, I want to stay with that. Number one is Rikishi is also going through surgery, so we want to send out some prayers to him. We want to say prayers for Todd Gordon. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on, but apparently he's in the hospital. Apparently his family put out a memo. Okay, so we want to say prayers for him. It's never good when somebody is not well or not feeling well, and that's something we always want to acknowledge. There was something. Oh, and I wanted to clear one thing up real quick because this happened a few shows ago, and we had a big thing coming at us from a lot of people. Luke Perry was never involved in child abduction porn or anything.
I said I was sorry. I apologize ahead of time if I was wrong. And I know that the other cat was, though, Rob Lowe.
Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah,
one more thing.
I apologize to Jack Perry, and I'm saying it right here. I was wrong. I definitely was wrong. But, when you're 3 years old, your mind... You remember certain things. You could confuse things. This happens. I am not trying to, deem anybody something that they're not. And that's.
But man, is there anybody in this world that's older than me? I feel like I'm older than everybody. One final thing, and I'm going to send this to Susan Green as well. She told us, she sent Jeannie and I beautiful pictures of Diamond Lil and herself, and she told us that, like you said, Johnny, somebody's listening. Because she's gotten people who told her that they heard her show on our show, her segment, and that they are talking to her about going to her school. So she might be picking up a couple of wrestlers that are starting out. So kudos to you, Susan. Thank you for everything. And thank you again for those pictures.
Much.
She sent us a ton more pictures. And as soon as I can get Bay together with me, because we were going to do this live, But now that I have new internet, it might work. My old internet wasn't letting me connect it, but I'm going to try it again for next week. And we're going to put pictures of Susan Green or what Susan Green sent us. Beautiful pictures. Anyway, I apologize, Johnny. I didn't mean to cut you off, but now
no,
we can
it's okay.
The last thing,
as far as Rikishi goes, I don't think Rikishi said any prayers when Raja Jackson attacked that kid in the ring and did what he did. He tried to stay. He told everybody not to call the police. That's nice. That's my thing with him. And as far as the other guy goes, who?
Todd Gordon.
Like I said, who?
Okay, Johnny. Okay, Jeannie, what were you going to say?
The last thing I wanted to say about WWE was also sending out some positive thoughts and good vibes and energy to recover to our girl Johnny, Rhea Ripley. Did you see her with her broken nose?
Yeah, she broke her nose. She got her nose broken. Yeah.
That's a shame, so that was brutal. But
that was, I saw the
in
pictures.
Japan. Yeah, she was in a Japan match and girl got thrown at her and I guess kind of botched it or whatever. I don't know what, but she got hit in the face pretty good. Yeah.
You see how Rhea Ripley is though. Nobody's she's not blaming anybody like everybody wanted to blame Nia Jax. It's funny how they nitpick on who they want to.
Well,
Nia Jax is my favorite. I don't care what anybody else thinks.
Well, no, the thing with Nia Jax,
she's a great wrestler.
The thing with Nia Jax is, and that whole botch thing is where, okay, the other girl, that was definitely her thing. What Nia did was she supposedly thought that because of the injury, that they were just going to pin her right now so then they could get her medical attention or whatever. And I guess it was between her and the ref. So she didn't kick out when she should have.
Right. That's the problem.
That's what the botch was. Not she, I don't blame Nia for hurting her or anything like that.
No, I don't either.
The other girl had nothing to do with Nia's botch of
Jade
not
Cargill.
kicking out.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, it was just, that's all that was.
Okay, so let's go. Before we go,
AEW, yes.
AEW. I want to say hi to my friend David while you guys are doing that. This gentleman watches the podcast religiously every single week. And I send it to him and he watches it and he loves it. So thank you very much.
Awesome.
And thank you to everybody else who listens every week as well. Okay, let's go.
I'm talking about Dave Meltzer because he repeats everything I say and then he acts like he scooped it somewhere. And it's the truth. Dave Meltzer is a funny guy. I remember him from when I started wrestling, and he was running his little rat sheet when he would have everybody call them up for inside scoop. Meltzer, I don't respect you one bit, pal. You're a guy that wants to be a wrestler and yet tells everybody how wrestling business should be ran. You never were in the ring, pal. Keep your opinion to yourself.
When he first started, that's exactly what he did. He had connections in other federations, and they would call him on the.
It was Paul. It was Paul. Let's be for real. It was that little
and gave him information,
Paul.
And that is how. I mean, that guy made millions. I'm telling you, over the years.
Yeah, well,
that's how he started that.
A weekly paper that everybody paid money for. To see what the ratings were on matches, 5-star, 2-star, 1-star,
My ex-husband paid for that sheet every week, and I used to yell at him and tell him not to, but he did. And
Too bad he didn't subscribe to me. I would have told him everything that was going on.
Remember, Jeannie, he tried to also have us taken off the radio for that.
Yep.
Because we used to use stuff from his sheet, but because we didn't say Dave Meltzer, we got in trouble for that, which I guess is right.
Dave Meltzer, you're a creep. But anyway.
Okay, AEW.
All right, so it started off, there was a what they called a tailgate brawl. So, and this was on TNT and
it started at 7:00.
Yeah. And the first match was the Death Riders versus Orange Cassidy, Ishishi, and Strong. What's his first name? Begins with a B.
Roderick
Strong. And the Death Riders won that one, and which, you know, glad about. I only gave it a 2-star only because it was like, I don't know, maybe because Orange Cassidy was in there. It was like,
yeah,
I'm not
an
an
Orange Cassidy fan. Not
you know, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't.
Orange
I mean,
Cassidy, he can drag anything down. Orange Cassidy.
He really can. He really can.
Not a fan. Yeah.
The next match was Hook and Eddie Kingston versus the Frat Party. And again, I gave that a 2-star. That
I wasn't crazy
Hook and
about
Eddie
that match
Kingston
either.
won that one.
Jeannie, do you get Eddie Kingston? I mean, do you understand what I've been saying? There's something about that guy. I don't know why they praise him as one of the best.
Well, I think it's kind of like a nostalgia thing where he used to be really good.
Yeah, years ago.
But because of his age and everything, it's declined. And, you know, respect the path. But, you know, same thing, you know, like people say, and myself included, that Ric Flair should no longer be in the ring and he should have stopped being in the ring well before he retired, but he needed the money. But just, you know, you get older, you lose a few steps, and, you know, it's just time to hang it up.
Yeah.
But I think that's what it is. That's what it is, you know.
But it's funny because Ric Flair's telling everybody else when they should get out of wrestling.
I know.
Yeah. You know, he should leave, take the money, and go. I forgot who he was talking about, but whatever.
He's a big crybaby.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And he wants his own way all the time, or else he throws a fit, which a lot of wrestlers do, though. A lot of wrestlers are very spoiled in this industry. They really are. And I don't think that's fair. They're like little children. They're like children that are spoiled, you know. But now the show starts, okay? So
well, no, now there's 2 more matches.
I thought there was only 2. I forgot. No. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Penelope Ford and Megan Vane versus Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. Harley and Willow won that one. I only gave it a 2-star. It wasn't, I don't know, it just did nothing for me. And plus, I'm
not a Willow fan.
I am not. I was yelling when I'm sitting in Carb's living room, we're watching, and I'm like, oh my God, you're not a fucking cheerleader. It's wrestling. Shut the fuck up.
I'm a Harley Cameron
and she
fan.
did. And what?
I'm a Harley Cameron fan.
I'm not. Yeah, I like her. I have no problem with her. I like Megan Vane, although she sucks on the mic.
Yeah, she was yelling
Penelope Ford, she did nothing for me.
Yeah.
But I gave it a 2-star. And again, I kind of started out low because I figured it's going to progress better and better and better.
Okay.
The last match, and I didn't put a rating next to this, and I didn't have who. Oh, that's because we didn't see all of it. It was FTR versus Jet Speed. I don't remember. Well, I think because we were watching it on TNT, and then
we had to switch
in the middle. We were switching it over and having problems logging in and all kinds of stuff.
Well, Jeannie, for me, that's the way the show had opened, and for that to be an opening match for the while the pay-per-view was starting. I mean, the fireworks were going off in the background, and they were saying welcome to this, and you know, they were hyping it. You know, that's the way Cowboy Bill Watts used to start his program. He would have a match already in progress as it started, and it would be a high-flying match where all the workers were outstanding. FTR, you could put them with sliced bread and they would make it look great. I am not a fan of the guys as far as, you know, they have me marking out as a heel. I don't like them. I think they are heels and they're great at it.
Yeah.
And that's the entertainment part of what they do. They have you absolutely despising them, wanting to see them be beat. And when Jet Speed, this kid, Mike Bailey, he's phenomenal. He wrestles barefooted, and he's able to do things that guys wearing boots only wish they could do.
Yep, that's true.
He is totally phenomenal. I gave this a 4-star to open up with. I was totally I was blown away. And I was having cable problems connecting. They were having a lot of issues getting it started for the first 45 minutes. So too, when it started and that match was kicked off, I was like, wow, what a way to start a pay-per-view.
It was great.
Listen, if you're Paul Heyman and you're Paul Levesque and you're what's the other guy that's taking Road Dogg, you all better take a lesson how to write and book matches, because this Tony Khan is totally amazing what he's doing to rewrite wrestling and bring it on to a platform where everyone forgot what wrestling was supposed to be.
And I like the fact that it's old
about
school.
The matches are so violent. They're like, and this is only coming from the WWE fans.
Well, what do you expect them to say,
have
Johnny?
An opinion. They're it's too violent.
Yeah.
Listen,
anything
if you're not entertained
negative
by that, you're able to shut your TV.
Right.
If you think you have an opinion and it's going to go somewhere, start your own organization and start it with your own money and see what you can do. I think Tony Khan is a genius. I see him as Joel Goodhart. And I said that. I told Joel Goodhart this last night. And I told him the way this guy has his matches, the way they're logged out, and the way the action is nonstop. As one match is ending, they're already starting the next pay-per-views buy. And they already have me interested into what's going to happen over the next few nights. You know, tonight's that clown show, the WE. I don't even want to watch it. As a matter of fact, I may not watch it, because if I get tired, it's not on my radar anymore to even talk about, because the show to me sucks. They haven't put anything on worth my hour, 2 hours, $25 for what is it called? Netflix. Listen, I'm not into the commercials. That's another thing. Not one commercial during a pay-per-view.
Not one. Yep.
Triple H, when do you stop counting money? Mark Shapiro, when do you start really caring about the wrestling fan? Oh, yeah, that's right. You did give up, but the people that you have buying your tickets, I can't wait for them to give up on you. And it's people like Carmella, Jeannie, and myself, and a few other people that are starting to notice that AEW is a 100 times better program than anything you can find on TV, no matter how many WWE clown shows are on. If it's the NXT, who cares? It doesn't matter. It does. The CW, nobody even gets that. Nobody watches it. Who cares?
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something. I think that AEW is going back to old school, a lot of old school wrestling, number one, which is what I love. I love old school. They're going back to the days when, they did a lot. They did a lot on this pay-per-view. They did. But when somebody says it's just because it's so violent, it's just like anything else. When people don't like something, they have to pick something.
And you shouldn't be watching wrestling, okay?
Exactly.
Wrestling
they have to pick something negative rather than say, you know, I liked it. I mean, and besides that, there was 9 matches on that pay-per-view. 9. Okay?
The match that was the most violent was the last match, and it came on at 11:30. The program ran till 12. If your kids, first of all, if you're a parent and your kids are watching this stuff, I question your parenting right out of the gate. and especially at 11:30 at night? Shouldn't they be counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, changing diapers, or at least watching Sesame Street? I
Well,
don't
I'll
think
tell
they
you,
should
now
be watching wrestling.
but this is something you got from AEW. You got from 7 o'clock, okay,
Yep.
till 12. You got 5 hours altogether.
And no commercials.
And no commercials. Dear God.
Not
no
a one.
Nope. It was awesome. All right, let's get to the matches. I'm getting excited. I want to do this. Hurry up. Let's go.
Okay,
Matches.
so the actual first match of the pay-per-view was Jamie Hayter versus
Tekla.
Thank you.
Tekla, yep.
And Jamie Hayter won that one, and I gave it a 3.5.
I did
probably should have given it a 4, but I don't like Tekla, and she creeps me out. And she did wrestle good. I'm not saying she didn't, and Jamie was phenomenal.
Yeah,
I'm
Jamie's
glad she
great.
won, but I gave it a 3.5.
I did too. I gave it a 3.5. What'd you give it, Johnny?
I gave it 3, and that was only because I seen a little bit. Well, there was a few miscommunications in there.
Yeah.
It could have been a little smoother
Yeah.
on Tekla's part. I think she wanted to get her spots off, and there was questionable times where when Jamie Hayter hits you with that Haterade arm, you should be selling it. You shouldn't be getting right back up for her to give you another one. That clothesline is as violent as Stan Hansen's used to be with the lariat, and I commend her as a professional wrestler, the work that she's able to do, and especially and even Tekla. Let's face it,
no,
you
Tekla's
might not
a good
like
wrestler.
Tekla, but her ability in the ring, she's very agile.
Yeah.
But like I said, there were a few miscommunications in there. So although the match was great, and I mean that match was great, it could have been on any WE card. That's for sure. And so could have the other match with Speedball and Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight and Speedball could work for the WA anytime they choose to. If they choose to, but I hope they don't make that mistake. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars, and I thought the match was fantastic.
Good. Okay, next one.
Oh my God, I was just so in love with this match. The Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Me and Carmelo, all during the match, every time we thought there was going to be a pin or whatever and kick out, we just turned out like, well, oh my God.
We were looking at each other like, oh my God, they kicked out again. It was so darn good.
It was so good. And then, Jurassic Express did win that one, and it was like a $500,000 money match. And then Don Callis family came out and beat up the Jurassic Express, and then Kenny Omega came out and to kind of save the day or whatever. But I gave that a 5-star match.
Yeah,
that was 5 stars for me.
I gave it a 5-star, and I'll tell you something. First of all, Jeannie and I looked up what Luchasaurus looks like without his mask. He's not
God,
not a bad looking guy. Yeah,
what a cutie patootie.
Yeah. And he's 40 years old.
Yeah.
I thought he was much older, to be honest with you, because of the persona he carries. But also, when Kenny Omega came out, the Young Bucks were coming back, like they were coming back out of the ring. And Kenny Omega's like, what are you doing? They're getting their butts kicked in. Why don't you go help? And they wouldn't do it. So Kenny went in, and that was the end of that. He helped them do that. But that match, I mean, and I told Jeannie, I said that Jack is unbelievable. Jack Perry, oh my God, he's such a good, quick, I mean, he was so good that he actually, I mean, Luchasaurus was good too, but Jack Perry killed it. He really did. What did you think, Johnny?
Well, first of all, for me, the Young Bucks may be the greatest tag team to ever be in any ring in the world. you talk about Hardy's and those two thieves that robbed my boy Chubby Dudley out of a gimmick. I say that hyperbole, but anyway, when they talk about tag teams and when you look up the word tag team, the Young Bucks should be pictured there. They are phenomenal. I don't think there's anyone that wrestles with them that doesn't have a 5-star match. That was absolutely a 5-star match on any pay-per-view. That could have been the main event.
Yeah.
For the WWE, they should be ashamed of themselves. I tell you, I'm going to keep saying this, and I'll keep going back to the dub. They have tag team wrestling there, and it's a joke. They have talent there, and they don't know how to use them. But
and
here,
it's a shame
Tony Khan,
do have good talent. They do.
Here, Triple H has been in the business, and so is Road Dogg. They know they know what professional wrestling is, and I find it embarrassing for the wrestling in general when it comes to watching the WE. But as far as the Young Bucks go, absolutely phenomenal. Jack Perry, phenomenal. And I remember when Jack Perry was tagging with the Young Bucks, there was a time when they were together, and so was Kenny Omega, the four of them together, even with that politician, Dusty Rhodes, what's his name? Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes. I know why Cody Rhodes left AEW. It's because he couldn't wrestle as good as them. He brought down. Listen, he brought that talent down. He definitely did. They had to turn their wrestling down a notch. For Will Ospreay to be in a match with Cody Rhodes, Will Ospreay has to underperform to make Cody Rhodes look good, and that's and that's embarrassing. And that's the reason why Cody Rhodes I believe that's the real reason Cody Rhodes and that other asshole CM Punk, they couldn't hang with these guys. There's no way they could hang with the Young Bucks. Jack and you know what? That dude is amazing.
He is.
I think he should. I think as a singles wrestler, he is totally amazing. Yeah, 5-star match, Jeannie. 5-star match. And to anyone out there who hasn't watched AEW, I feel sorry for you guys. You are missing one of the greatest products on TV today.
Exactly. Well, I want to tell you something before Jeannie goes into the next match. We also have a listener. His name is Douglas. Okay. He writes to us every week on YouTube.
What's happening, Douglas?
He said to me this past week, he says, you know what? He said, I'm glad you said just give it a chance. He said, because I am seeing things that are incredible. I mean, I'm wording it differently than he actually said it, but he said to me that he's starting to like it and he's watching it. And he said he appreciated the fact that we brought that up because it gives him an alternative to watch, but I think he's going to start, being agreeing with us in a lot more areas. Because he even said, and I want to thank you, by the way, Douglas, as well, for helping Jeannie and myself out Saturday night a little bit. But it was so he's very, very honest. He's very forthright. And that's the good thing. We have a lot of fans who listen that are not mean, that are not nasty. They're very honest, though, and very forthright and very respectful. We have Michelle. We have Douglas. We have David. We have Chuck, Chuck Langerman.
What about Chili?
He watches it, but he listens to the show, but he's not on any platform really, except for Instagram. Right. So so we have to talk to him privately about that. Well, but, go ahead, Johnny.
When these new people see the creativity and moves, the chain wrestling that these workers perform, it makes you question gravity and the ability of the workers in the clown organization. And I mean that these guys are some of the best performers there are today in the ring. And we didn't even get up to my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
My
we're only in 2 matches.
Yeah, we haven't.
Go ahead, Jeannie. Next match.
Well, real quick, just to say about Frank Chili. When I last talked to him, he hasn't watched a WWE TV show, pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call it, in like 10 years. And the last one he saw, he went to like somebody's house and they had it and they invited him over. And he went and he left halfway through because he's like, I can't watch this. Yeah. I just can't watch it. This is like horrible. And he has been watching AEW like for many, many, many years. You know, he was trying to get me to watch it and I was just like, sorry.
I know, me too, Jeannie.
And but now we're on the same page as far as, so that's Frank's
very
thing
cool
about it.
Very cool.
The next match was the Demand versus the Hurt Syndicate.
And I'll tell you, that was good.
That was so good.
They're the Gates. Their name is the Gates
of Agony. Yeah, they're also called the Demand. Yeah. But you know what I liked about it the most? Okay. The most that I liked about that whole thing was to actually see Bobby Lashley in a full-blown wrestling match. Okay. When he was in the WWE, he walked around like this, and that's all he did. Then he did the Hurt Lock, and that's all he did. That's all he did. He literally wrestled like somebody actually knew how to wrestle. I was so happy to see him.
Carmelo, wasn't it a few weeks back that I called racism out, questionable racism in the WWE? Isn't it funny that today the headlines are that the WWE are racist because Devon Dudley has finally came out and talked about the racism that he experienced in the WWE. So like I said, people are listening to what Johnny Hotbody says. I'm not afraid to tell the truth. And it takes a guy like myself to say the truth first for other people to not be afraid to tell the other truth that goes along from their perspective. And that means a lot. And that means a lot because I'm not here to toot my own horn, but guess what? Well,
you know what? I'm going to say something too, and I don't know if you guys remember me saying this, but many, many, many years ago, Bobo Brazil had won a championship belt, and they would not let him acknowledge it in the ring. Yep. And that was horrific. It was horrific. And I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. I don't care what the reason is. There is no reason. Okay, no reason, in my opinion, to hurt another person, whatever the reason. Racism, whatever their nationality, their sex, their gender, their whatever they want to call it, nothing. Okay, worry about yourself and worry about what you have on your plate rather than pointing out what somebody else has on their plate when you don't even really know. Okay,
and well, to go back to the wrestling angle. Bobby Lashley, that match was phenomenal.
It was.
MVP, that match was phenomenal. And my favorite, Shelton Benjamin, who
they were
at his age is still able to perform like the gold medalist he was back in his day.
Absolutely.
It's a crying shame that the WE is now being called out for racism. And I say that jokingly because I can't wait for MVP. I cannot wait for Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin to speak up against Triple H. I'm calling them out.
Okay, next one, Jeannie.
Well, Hurt Syndicate won that match. I gave it a 4-star match.
4-star match, absolutely 4-star match. And to see anytime for me to see Ricochet get manhandled and ragdolled It's phenomenal, man.
And he did.
Tongalea, what
Yeah.
a hell of a performer. What a
Yes.
hell of a performer. Yes. And Bishop, what's his name? Bishop Coop. Bishop, his tag team partner is Bishop Bishop Khan. Bishop Khan, I think his name is.
I think so.
Those two guys, listen, if Triple H would have listened to Ricochet, those two gentlemen may have been working for the WWE, but they didn't have any room for them either, not unless they went to the NXT. I'm glad they didn't go to the WWE, because it shows you the talent that they have and the respect for the business that they have. And I commend all 6 of them gentlemen that performed on that level on a pay-per-view, where everyone in that pay-per-view gave a solid performance across the board. And that's what happens when you don't have politics in the locker room. That's a family organization, and you could tell by the way these people work together. I'm sorry, I'm usually a heel, and I'm talking crap about all these guys, but I have yet to find a weak point or a chink in the armor of Tony Khan's Khan's
I agree.
booking.
I like Tony Khan. I do.
Absolutely phenomenal.
All right. Next match, Jeannie.
Next match was the TV champ Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe, and it was for the TV title. Kyle Fletcher did win. I gave it a 4-star match. Again, it was just phenomenal. I love both these guys. And Don Callis, of course, was out there, and you know, it was just a really, really good, fun match. I really loved it. A nice hardcore, and it was, Filecatcher tried to pin him, Mark, a couple times, and he's kicking out, and he's like, "What the hell?" Like how, and then he did finally get the pin. Unfortunately, I did want to see Mark win that, but 4-star match.
Well, I think and I'm going to say this out loud. I like Don Callis. I think he is cool. I do like him. He cracks me up. He's like somebody you love to hate, and he knows.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a great manager.
He really is. He's really good. And that scar he has on his head, I don't know if that's real, because it looks different at times. It's either real or he paints it in every time he comes out, because it does look different from time to time. But that match was a good match. And I agree, like you said, Kyle Fletcher's not 100%. On the microphone, but that match was phenomenal. And I got to be honest, I like Briscoe's approach. I like what he does. I like the way he wrestles, and he really carried Kyle. He showed, like, Kyle looked really good going against him. Johnny.
Oh, and tell Johnny, because when we were watching the match, I was saying, I'm like, who's his girlfriend again? His girlfriend, and you're like, oh no, she's just some regular girl. And I'm like, no, funny. I think it's who?
It's Sky Blue. I didn't know that. Yeah. I thought his girlfriend was a non-wrestling person. Okay.
Yeah.
And I looked it up while we were sitting there, and it said Sky Blue. I'm like, are you kidding me? And yes, it is Sky Blue. That's his girlfriend. Go ahead, Johnny.
All right. First of all, I will start off with this. Kyle Fletcher, to me, is AEW. There's not a match I've witnessed that this kid doesn't outperform. His ability, the match, it was pure psychology. The match is going to be a best of 7 series is the way it's going, because this isn't the first time they work together. It's a spoiler alert, because they're going to be working together again. And it's going to be the best of 7. And I believe Kyle Fletcher is going to come out on top of that. And Kyle Fletcher is definitely going to be the heavyweight champion of AEW. And I can't wait till he takes it off Adam Page. It can't happen soon enough. And I think that this was one of the best matches wrestled in a psychological fashion where no matter what opponent did, no matter what Mark did, and no matter what Kyle did, these two guys couldn't pin each other. It was a battle from the time the bell rang till the finish, and it was fantastic. Kyle Fletcher, like I said, is the face of AEW. Take the belt off Adam Page. Yeah, I think that his attitude and his style, it can't be how do you say? There's not a flaw in it. He could wrestle anyone. He could wrestle anyone, any style.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's tax. It doesn't matter if it's barbed wire. It doesn't matter if it's just a pure wrestling match. No matter what he does it great.
Right. And I think he got a lot of that from Will Ospreay. I'm going to say that because they're best friends. They hung out together all the time. They wrestled together. They have had a million matches. They work out together. They have done almost everything together. They did a lot of work in Japan together. So I do believe that some of that is part of Will Ospreay as well, because both of them are phenomenal. They really are. And I agree with you. But Kyle Fletcher is proving himself to be an excellent.
The chicken, Erica.
What?
No, I'm sorry. No, chicken. It's a safe word, chicken. No, I got chicken cooking in the oven.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I never heard a safe word like that.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's all right. But anyway, I think that he is excellent, and he got and Kyle and Will have shared it more than one time that they wrestled together so many times. So they both have the same. A lot of Will does a lot more of the high spots. But they're both excellent wrestlers. All right, Jeannie, next one.
Well, the last thing I want to say about the Kyle Fletcher match, which Carmella had you laughing about. So there was a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. I don't know how it happened, but Mark Briscoe's belt broke.
Oh my
God!
And the poor guy had
so hard.
Yeah, he got slammed so hard his belt broke.
And he had to
pull his pants back up. And Jeannie was like,
throughout the match, and I was just like, "Oh my God, fix your belt, fix your belt."
I know, and I'm like, Jeannie,
it's broke.
He can't fix it,
and so he has to keep pulling his pants up.
I know, that was so funny.
But
as a matter of fact,
anyway.
when it broke, when he slammed him down real hard, it broke. You could see it was falling down. And he's like, before he did everything else, he pulled his pants back up, and it was so funny. Yeah, that was a hell of a slam.
Well, coming from a 6 foot, he Kyle Fletcher stands 6'5".
Yeah. Okay, the next match was Chris Statlander versus Toni Storm for the women's heavyweight championship. Chris Statlander retained. I thought that was great. Gave it a 4-star match.
I'm going to say this. I'm sorry, Jeannie. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
No, I'm going to say this. I was actually glad, and I try to shoot from the hip. All right. Yeah. I love my people. I love who I love. But I was actually glad that Chris Statlander won. I was glad she beat Toni Storm because I think Chris Statlander has a lot to offer, and I think she should be given the time that she needs to be able to show that. I think it was a really good match. They both worked really well together. I like the fact at the end that they, hugged and everything else. And I'm going to be honest with you. I liked it so much. Chris Statlander is so good. She really is. She's so good. And the funny thing is, while they were doing, I can't, you are who you are. And I'm a hairdresser, so I can't get that out of my head. But every single move that Toni Storm did with her head, when she had it like this, when she had it straight down, when she had it straight back, that haircut she has is on point, man. I'm telling you, I said to Jeannie, look at her. No matter how she moves, that hair is cut right. And that has nothing to do with the match, but I thought she has a really good haircut. Go ahead, Johnny. What did you think?
Oh boy, let me look here because I don't want to.
Slacking, Johnny? Come on.
No, well, I wanted to hear about her hair and everything. I was being entertained
Get out of
about
here.
that part. No, well, to me, I can't wait to see Chris Statlander wrestle Mercedes Moné,
They're
who
going to.
happened to interrupt
Yep.
Chris Statlander's win, which is going to be the next match for
At the
Mercedes.
pay-per-view,
She's
yep.
going for that title, and you might as well call her right now 12 belts Mercedes, because I believe, well, and I don't even like to believe. Here's the truth of the matter. Mercedes Moné against Toni Storm is the way it's going to wind up going. I see Chris Statlander dropping the title to Mercedes. It's going to be a quick championship. I don't think she deserves the championship, and we all have our opinions here. Okay. Toni Storm is a lot better than Chris Statlander. I gave it 3 stars. It was an entertaining match. It was on point. But yeah, I see the writing on the wall for Statlander. And the next match, which winded up with the interruption, she walked right in. Mercedes Moné walked right in, ruined Chris's win. So Chris leaves the ring angrily, of course. And when Mercedes wins the next title from Menina, whatever that girl. What's Mina's last name? Shirakawa. Well, she picked up the title from her from the Ring of Honor. So it looks like, Mercedes Moné is on a roll. And as long as Toni Storm sees her as the champion for his organization, there's nothing stopping that.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Now I didn't know.
I mean, Tony. Wait a minute.
Tony
I'm
Khan.
Sorry, Erica.
Tony Khan.
Thank
That's
you.
what you were going to say.
Tony
Yep.
Khan. Yeah, Stormy doesn't own it. I'm sorry. As long as Tony Khan's writing it, I see Moné getting the title and then probably dropping that title right back to Toni Storm, because I believe Toni Storm is a lot better than Moné. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But that's
Toni
the way
Storm,
that triangle works out perfectly. If you're a booker, or if you're seeing these things down the road, that's the way I see it going, which is great, because no matter what, it's going to put asses in the seat. That's for sure. Even if it's a 3-way dance with those 3 girls, it's going to be one of the most entertaining girls matches on that card that night.
But I got to tell you, Toni Storm, for me anyway, puts on one of the best shows ever.
Yes.
She has a lot of charisma. She has a lot of upbeat. She's not afraid to play a character. She's not afraid.
She can wrestle.
Yeah, she can wrestle. That definitely. But a lot of people, when they have a gimmick, they don't go crazy with it. It is what it is. But she throws her entire life into it, especially when she was doing that Marilyn Monroe stuff, or that old 1800 stuff with the hands and that. I love that stuff. But she's excellent. I love her. I gave that match a 4. What'd you guys give it?
I gave it 3 stars.
Jeannie?
Yeah, I gave it 4.
Okay. Next one.
Well, you're going to have to watch that, because this is where we were starting to have some internet issues, and it kept filtering and filtering and filtering. And then I decided, I'm like, there's no way I'll be able to stay up, and then drive home.
Yeah.
So I went home. I did not actually see the Mercedes money match. So you guys are going to have to take over that.
Johnny, you want to start that? Mercedes Moné?
She came out, interrupted. Like I said, she interrupted Statlander's win. And out comes the Ring of Honor champion, Mina. It was a great match. Now, that match, I believe, was a 4-star match. And, of course, Moné wins the title. So now she has 11 belts under her. And as she's celebrating her win for the 11th belt, and it's being put around her, out comes Statlander to make the challenge. And they already have this one booked. It's going to be Statlander against Moné for the heavyweight title. And I can't wait to see that. I think, when you have back-to-back girls matches like this, you would expect there to be a flaw. No, not at all. These
No, they were
girls
good.
work to perfection.
I didn't get to see that whole match either because, like
Mhm.
Jeannie said, my internet. Long story. Unfortunately, when you have HBO Max, by the way, anybody who wants to do this, HBO Max, I bought the standard. It's only $9.99, $10. But when you have the standard, you can't get pay-per-views. We didn't know that until Saturday night. You have to have the full premium to get the pay-per-views. So we wound up going to Prime and watching it there. So it was going in and out because I had crappy internet until today. So, but anyway, I didn't get to see that match. So let's just go on to the next one. What's the next one, Johnny? Or Jeannie, anybody, whatever.
Well, yeah, I don't know because
All right.
I think it was a tag team, but I didn't get to see. So I got home. Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, but I know there was another match in there. I think it was a tag team match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. It was Brodito,
That's right.
Against Okada and Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Take a shitter.
Yeah.
That, I'll tell you, that was a freaking good match. That was a good match. And there's going to be Takeshita and Okada are going to go at it. They are. Because that's what they do is argue. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe the IGWA title will be on the line too that Takeshita has. And I think Okada will take that title. The Rainmaker is fantastic.
But also the way he laughed at Takeshita when Takeshita got hurt and because he bumped into him and knocked him down and he went like, you know, he's laughing at him and Takeshita didn't like that at all. But I got to tell you, Brodito, right? They are forget it.
Yeah.
I mean, Brody King, for a big man, he works so good. They're so good together. And I like at the end when he was like, we don't fight. We don't stop giving up. We fight. You know, and it just was like, it gives you the chills, you know. I love that stuff. And
it was a fantastic.
They actually won the match.
Yes, fantastic match. I gave that 4 stars.
I gave it 5.
You gave it 5
stars. Yes, I did. I loved it.
Okay, I could see the 5 stars, but for me, the whole show was just fantastic, and it makes it hard, you know, because you can't really say one match is better than the other, and they're all 4 or 5 star matches. There's not a glitch here. There is not a glitch. There's not a match where you could go to the bathroom and not care that you missed them.
Right,
it's not an LA Knight match against Jimmy Uso. Who cares?
Yep, exactly. Next match.
You missed this one too, I guess. Well,
no, just that one.
Yeah, it was just the Mercedes Moné and the Brit.
I said that I gave that 4 stars. The Mercedes Moné match.
What about the Okada and Takeshita?
That
I
gave 4 stars also. It was a fantastic match. And now here's a problem. Samoa Joe and Adam Page. Now, I'm not a fan of Adam Page, and it was around 11 o'clock, 10 after 11. My heart medicine started to kick in with my Redaxa and my Lyrica, and all of a sudden, my eyes are heavy. So for me, Samoa Joe was the inside of my eyelids, and I could only imagine that the match could have been a 4-star match. I did hear that Samoa Joe, they attacked Adam Page right after it, or is that it? No,
Adam Page beat him, and Samoa Joe and his friends beat him up.
And
they hugged each other first. I got to see that match. They hugged each other and shook hands, and after the match. And then all of a sudden, Samoa Joe's face was just like,
now I'm getting
screw
you.
And then just beat the hell out of him.
It was a big fake job.
Awesome.
I got to tell you.
I commend Samoa Joe and the special ops for beating the living snot out of Adam Page. I did see the highlights of that. Like I said, I fell asleep. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry because like if I had known that you were going to do what you did to Adam Page, I would have stayed awake to watch that. And I mean that because he's the kind of wrestler you want. He's like Bob Backlund. You want to see him, or better yet, in this day and age, people
Backlund.
can't remember Bob Backlund. I'll use CM Punk because I can't stand him. I despise that guy. I'm so glad he does nothing but lose. But anyway, we're going to get into the next match because Samoa Joe match. I could only imagine it, like I said, being a 4-star match because they did beat up Adam Page. Jeannie, did you see it? Carmella, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
All right. And what did you give it?
I gave it 4 stars also. What about you, Jeannie?
I wanted to get, I probably should have given it a 4, but I was pissed that Joe didn't win. So I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
Because I'm being a little, bitchy or
But
whatever.
what do you think about them beating him up afterwards?
Oh, I loved it. I got a little, I put on my notes, gets beat up after, and I got a smiley face. I loved it.
See, there's always something.
Be nice.
You can find something entertaining in every single match. You see,
now I gotta tell you,
I see that match, and I'm entertained by it.
There's something about Adam Page that I do like. I like Adam Page, not like crazy about him, but I like Adam Page.
I
think he's a fine wrestler.
Yeah.
I think it's not that I can't.
He's a good wrestler.
He's a good wrestler. I don't like his gimmick. I hate his mic skills, and I just don't get him. But that's just me. I don't.
He's the Bob Backlund,
and I don't think he should be their quote unquote face of the company.
He's not going to be for long.
Kyle Fletcher should be.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's not going to last for long.
Not him. So that's just but it's just a me thing.
That's all right. It's all right. Everybody has their own me thing.
Sure, yeah,
yeah,
but just not my cup of tea.
I mean, like I said, I wouldn't beat somebody up over him, but I do like him. I do.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny. Next match.
All right, and here goes the last match on the night.
God.
It is Jon Moxley and without the Death Riders. No, it was with the Death Riders and Darby Allin. And let me tell you something. This is pure hardcore as it gets. I'm going to tell you, I've said this before. Jon Moxley, outstanding, above and beyond the wrestler he ever was in the WE.
Absolutely.
Boy, what a difference night and day is.
I
gave this a 10-star.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not going to lie. I tell you, I put 15 down. I gave it 15 stars. Oh my God. If I could have given that whole show a star, I would have given it 50 stars for the whole show. I am telling you, I got to say this. Darby Allin is unreal. That boy, okay, they did everything to that kid. For anybody who didn't watch it, Jon Moxley tried to drown him. They brought an aquarium in there, and a little aquarium, filled it with water, and stuck his head in it, kept taking it out, stuck it in, but Jon Moxley made it look like he put
wood under his nails. Like,
how about that? That was amazing. Well, he got the piece of metal.
That was awful. Under his fingernail, number one, like right down there. Okay. Number two, he did unbelievable stuff. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out. And then the lights turn on. And who's there? Stinger. My buddy Sting is back in the ring.
I look like a maniac. So bad. I screamed. I was like, oh my God.
And you know what? He did his thing. He did what he had to do. Threw the bat over to Darby and very gently walked out of the ring. You could see he was a little bit unbalanced, but he walked out a little, right after that.
Water in the ring will do that to you.
Carried out Marina or whatever the frick her name is.
He picked her up. Yeah, Marina Shafir.
Took her out. Beat up the other guys with the bats.
Hit him with the bat, cracked the aquarium that was in there, let all the water out, and then Darby Allin wound up making Jon Moxley give up. He quit right away. As soon as he put that hold on him, Moxley was like, I quit. That's it, done. But Darby Allin would not quit no matter what he did to him, no matter what Moxley did to him. And boy, did he do some horrible things.
He wrapped the flag.
Boy.
He wrapped the flag from Mount Everest around
his neck.
John Moxley's neck. And he got him to quit. He said he was going
to do it. Yep.
Yeah.
And he said he was going to do it.
Listen, they, you know, from the begin, from anywhere on this roster, you could give any one of these guys the title, and they'd all be deserving of the title.
Yep.
They all work as if they were champions. And to me, every one of them are, because they made me appreciate the business once again.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I seen anything as good as or better than the NWA. And I'm talking about the original NWA. When the matches were so creative, even back then, the psychology was being used, and the matches all meant something, told a story.
And
unlike today, where the only way the matches tell a story is if we have a script written by someone else, and we go to the ring, and these matches, you know that these workers are not the ones that are putting these matches together, because if they are, every one of them need to go back to wrestling school and learn how to work. You know, the only I think there may have been 3 spears on that whole card. And Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley's the one that match had the spears in it. But that's Bob. But here's the difference, Carmella. You know, that's Bobby Lashley's move, the spear. So everybody respects Bobby Lashley enough where they're not using his move. And the move is a finishing move. It's not something that's taken for granted.
Right,
you know?
But it wasn't like you didn't hear spear. It wasn't like that. They didn't even focus on it, which I thought was good. The thing that I like, again, like I said, it reminds me of old school when you said the NWA. Some of my favorite matches were Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. They were some of the most phenomenal matches. Ric Flair and Magnum TA. Before he got hurt, God bless him, he was an incredible
phenomenal worker.
Okay? But that's what I'm talking about. This is what this is like now. These people, like you said, Johnny, these people, all of them, every single one, work those matches like not only that like it's a pay-per-view, but it's like it's their last match or their first match or their only match. They go in there 100% and they kill it. They really do. I think sometimes that the WWE has slacked off because they feel like they feel like they're so popular with the fans right now that they will put butts in the seats no matter what. So why go out of your way to give them a good show when they're going to be there anyway? In the AEW, they want to give you a good show. And I said to Jeannie that night, remember, Jeannie, I said, do you see any empty seats around that arena?
Nope.
And they showed the entire arena. Not one empty seat that I see. Okay. And I'm so sick to death of hearing people say, if there's an empty seat in the WWE audience that, that was before the show started.
No, they went to the bathroom.
Yeah, get out of here.
They all went to the bathroom.
Yeah, WWE has had their share of open sections. They have. And they have them now too. I'm sorry. But I'll tell you this, AEW, if any of you can afford it.
One of the one things that I absolutely loved about this match too is that the cameraman, you know, had the mic on the camera and he was in there, and you could hear John Moxley saying to the ref, you got to call this match. You got to call this match because these people don't care about him. He ain't quitting. This is going to be a murder. Stop the match.
Even the fans were saying, and even the fans were saying, this is a murder. This is a murder.
Yeah. And it was like, oh my God. He's like, yo, I care. I don't want him to die, but if I gotta stop the match.
You wound up giving up anyway.
Listen,
ahead,
Darby,
Johnny,
I'm positive that Darby Allin is so in shape because
Oh my
let's
God.
not forget he did climb Mount Everest.
Oh my
So
God.
for him to have the cardio, his cardio is above and beyond. He's going into a higher element of air where it's less air, and
Yeah.
you have to be conditioned. So for him to
Absolutely.
hold his breath, that was nothing. I
No, that
counted it
was nothing. Yeah.
at times it was no more than 45
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
And 45 seconds under the water, who hasn't dove under a swimming pool and held their breath for
Not
45
me.
seconds?
Not me.
Well,
No,
okay, well, I
no,
take that
no.
back. Yeah, there's a lot of people, Carmela, that haven't jumped in a swimming pool except to pee in it at the
Oh
public
no.
pools. But anyway,
No.
that's
I
another
got to tell
story.
you something about
But
me.
for real, when it comes to this AEW, and granted, I've only been watching this for 3 months, and it's turned me back into a wrestling fan again. And I'm
Absolutely.
happy to say it. Um, every one of these workers should be proud of themselves. Not
Yes.
one of them had a bad match. Not one of them. Even Eddie Kingston, even though I'm sorry, bro, if you hear me, I don't get your gimmick. I do respect the fact that you've been in the business a long time. You probably started when Johnny Hotbody did, if I remember correctly. And I commend you for still being in that ring. You know, your matches not being on par with the other workers isn't a discredit to you, bro.
No.
You're still there, you're still working. Be proud. You're there. A lot of people wish they were. Don't
Yeah.
tell me they're wanting to go to the WE anymore.
I'll tell you something, okay? Um, I wish, okay, that this was when I was young, okay, because I would have been at every single match. I would have been at every place. When we used to do that with the WWE, man, we went everywhere. WWF years ago. I used to travel with the wrestlers. And oh my God, the fun we used to have is incredible. But I wish that I was young enough to actually go to these matches and see them in person. But I am going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to make this public right now. When Will Ospreay comes back, anytime he's in an arena that's close to me that I can get to, all right? If you notice, every time he comes out of the out to the ring, he comes out and then he goes over to the left and he always talks to the people in that little group right there. I don't know why he does that, but he does that. And I'm going to be there one day and I'm going to say, listen to my podcast. But he is unbelievable, unreal. We are still trying to get, by the way, not to change the subject, but we're trying to get more people on the podcast right now. If I'm not mistaken, we're booked till the end of November. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I'm very grateful for. We were talking to, Barbara Goodish. She's going to be on our show again in November. She's going to try, been trying desperately to get a hold of Wendy Richter, and I can't. I just have been pulling my hair out. But she said that if she doesn't know her, but if she can, she's going to try and get her our information to see if she can come on the podcast. That for me would be such a coup. I would love to have her on. She's an amazing woman, and I love her dearly. And she was screwed real bad too by Vince back in the day when she was with Lou Albano and all that. But we have who's going to be on this week, Jeannie? I don't have my book with me.
Hold on. Thursday, I have written down Craig Pendergrass.
Ah, okay. Craig Pendergrass is a fan, and he's agreed to come on.
Well, he is, but he's
He
also a referee and referee.
Yeah.
He worked for Mike Tartaglia at
Okay.
when he had ECWA.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk him into AEWs too, but yeah, we're going to have him one because I want to hear his story. Also, I did say this before, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. There's a wrestler named, oh God, I forgot. This is terrible. He's the American Giant. He's like 7 feet tall. His last name is Bresner. We're going to have him on the show. He said anytime. We're going to start booking for December. So once again, if you're a fan, if you're an indie wrestler, if you're anybody who listens to the show and you feel as though you want to come on, you want to speak your mind, you want to, say your piece, contact us at the email that you see at the bottom of your screen. Let us know and we'll have you on. I just wanted to say a couple of those things before we went back to talking about AEW because otherwise I'll forget because, I'm old and, that's what happens. But every time I forget something, my daughter says to me, "Are you okay? Is there something wrong? Do you feel sick?" And I'm like, "No, I'm 68. I'm fine," But it's such an honor to be a part of this podcast. It's such an honor to be my age and still be involved in wrestling after 60 years. Actually, it's now 62 years. Oh my God. And it's amazing. I'm so proud, so happy. I cannot tell you. And I thank everybody who listens to this podcast because it really, and I'll tell you, every time I go put it on Twitter, I tag Tony Khan, Will Ospreay, and now I'm tagging Darby Allin. So what the heck? Maybe one day one of them will say, "What is this crap that this woman keeps putting on my page? Let me look at it."
How about Jon Moxley too?
I'm going to do that too. Yep, Jon Moxley. I mean, I would probably do the whole show. Tony Storm, I'm going to do her. But I'm saying it's like unbelievable. I would love for one time for the AEW to get a wind of us, and just say, what is it about these people? Let me listen to one show. That would make me feel so good. Just to let them know that there are people who really want to promote them a little bit. And I think that that's important. So anybody else have anything to say before we close out?
No, it was phenomenal. Again, it brought me back to when we used to do this back in the day.
Oh my God,
and
yes.
It was great. We had pizza and chips and laughs and good times, and it was just a fun night of wrestling.
Yeah. Maybe next time we'll go to Johnny's house and watch it.
And yeah.
Yes, you can come.
Yeah.
Here's a question: Would you pay for another pay-per-view? Are you on board with it that much that you would pay for
I would chip in. I wouldn't pay the whole thing, but I would chip in again for another one. Absolutely. Not everyone, no, because I can't afford to do that. But I would chip in again for another one. We had so much fun between laughing and joking and Jeannie and I doing the stars and the points and oh my God. And every time somebody kicked out, we're like, oh my God, we were going back and forth. We were laughing. We were looking stuff up on the internet. We were watching it. We were having a great time. And I'm saying 5 hours of AEW did not make me bored at all. Not even a little bit. It was great. And yes, I would watch it again. I am going public again. If I chipped in with somebody or, anybody wanted to come over my house and watch it with us and chip in, we'll do it. We'll do it again.
Well, you are more than welcome here. Abricus said it. So
I know. But I don't want to keep you up, Johnny. That's the problem.
Listen, we all have a bedtime, I don't think they're going to ever do a pay-per-view that long again. Do you?
Oh, I hope a lot of them are that long.
I hope they do. They're just a fantastic organization all around.
A lot of them are that long, though. They are.
I think the shows Collision and Dynamite are excellent. They run those so that it's some of the fastest time ever. 3 hours, 2.5 hours, and even 2 hours. The show's over and you want more.
Yeah.
Where the WE, you want the show to end so you could go to bed.
Like,
it's funny because I go to bed really early during the week because I get up so early. But when on Wednesday night is the one night that I try to make myself stay up till it's over. I love watching it. Every single one. I love watching all of them. They're really good. But again, we're telling you again, you don't have to do anything because we're doing it. Watch it. Just give yourself a chance. Give yourself just a couple of months to watch it. Compare what you've seen in other organizations, okay, at WWE, whatever. But we feel like, Jeannie's starting to suck me into that independent stuff more now. And she's the indie queen. Jeannie's the indie queen. And it's so good to see these people really want something. They really want to wrestle. They really want a result. You know, they want to be big. And when you're already big, you get tired and you don't want to do it. And it shows. It does show. But I am so into AEW right now. It just brings me back to yesteryear. It just does for me. And it reminds me of all the old days and how much fun we had and, you know, whatever. But anyway, I could go on and on all night. Does anybody else have anything to say? Because I'm about to shut this down. I want to go have dinner.
Well, thank everyone for viewing us. Thank you, Carmella. Thank you, Jeannie. I really appreciate you giving me a platform to do this with you girls.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
It wouldn't be the same without you, Johnny.
Well, I enjoy it. I couldn't have done it without you girls either. So, you know.
Now, are you going to, I know you said you're probably not going to watch, and I know Bay has his new job and stuff. So there's no recap tonight for Raw?
No, I imagine there will be. I'm going to watch it. Unfortunately, I'll stick it out. I could definitely stick it out. I don't know if I'll have anything positive to say. I can't.
But tonight, is there a live, or are you guys going to do it another?
Are you going to do it tonight? Do you think
I
Bay's
would
going
like
to be able to do it?
If he's willing to, I'm willing to.
Well, I don't know if he's
me.
off on Monday. Is he off on Monday?
I don't know. I think
I
think he likes his job so much anymore that he just goes to work.
He does.
Yeah.
You know?
And it was great having him on too last week. It was really good.
I watched.
Memories, man. You know, who said it? And I'm going to say Douglas. It might have been Douglas, or it might have been, wait a minute, Chuck. No, it was Chuck Langerman, I believe, that said with the show with Bay, and even now tonight, between the three of us, there's over 100 years of wrestling knowledge. And that's a plus, because you think you got at least 50, you got at least 40, I got 60, you know, there's 150 years of knowledge here and of experience in wrestling. And that makes me proud. It really does. It makes me very proud. Okay, so everybody go have a good night. We're going to see Mr. Prendergast on Thursday, and then we're going to be back again to do the recap for AEW Collision and Dynamite next week. Okay?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Love you. Mwah. Have a great night.
Hold on. Next week is Saturday night main event, isn't it?
I believe it might be, yeah. But I don't know if that's going to be on. I don't know if I can even get that. If that's going to be on ESPN2, I don't have that.
Okay.
No, it's on NBC.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, we can recap that one too.
I'm pretty sure.
It'll be on Saturday.
It's not a pay-per-view. It's their.
All right. So we will recap.
Event, so it should be on.
And if there's any WWE that Jeannie and I can't get, if you get everything, Johnny, just do it and let us know. We'll recap with you.
Awesome.
Okay?
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Yes.
Love
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good night.
I love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.